Welcome to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. I am here with a real one, Dylan, over at Nets Press. Dylan, it's getting ugly. It's getting almost impossible to watch. I went to the game last Monday against Boston. This is ugly. This is brutal. Did you watch the game yesterday, and what were your thoughts?
I did, and I thought valiant effort, but great loss. Continue.
Yeah, old friend Mikal Bridges did absolutely nothing yesterday, but I do have to make a Mikal Bridges reference at least once an episode.
Don't worry, we'll get into that number 24 guy at some point too. Mr. No rotation minutes.
That's well. Let's just do that. Let's just lead with that. Old friend.
Let's just start with hatred.
Yeah. Old friend, the player that used to wear formerly wore number 24, is out of the rotation in Milwaukee. You want to take a victory lap on that, or how do you want to go about that?
No need.
You're more than welcome to take a victory lap.
No need. It's like a pro wrestler. When you win a match, you step out of the ring. You know, you can kind of wipe your shoes, and then you get off. That's all I've done. I've proven my point. My 2.5-year battle with morons is done.
He is not good, Dylan. I mean, he's not good. He's not good at basketball, as you would say.
He is not a basketball player. That is for sure.
All right. Let's get into yesterday's game. Valiant effort. They lose by 1. Let me ask you this: were you rooting for them when they made the comeback? They were down 14 or whatever. They came back. They took a 3-point lead. Were you rooting for them to win, or were you all in on them losing?
No, I actually was saying that we should have sat Josh Minott the last few minutes also. Just lose the game.
Okay.
Throw it away.
Who do you I want to spend some time on him because we may have a real one in that guy.
Oh yeah, he's a dog.
Who do you want to play? Like, do you want to play Tyson Etienne 48 minutes? You want to play Malachi Smith? Like, who do you actually want on the court? Because
find me the guys that I don't know their names and just play them. Yeah, just find the guys that I don't know their names and play them. We got 12 games of this shit left. Just get it over with. Do what you got to do.
This is unwatchable. I sat through. You're too young to really remember the 12 and 70 season, right? You're too young for that.
I remember it.
Okay.
I had more dignity in that one than I did last year, though.
Yeah, I'm saying these last 2 seasons, and especially like this last month, that game was more. Those games were better than this. This is unwatchable. But I do want to touch on some of the upsides. We talked about the hatred. We talked about old friend number 24. I want to talk about Josh Minott. Boston liked him. Boston rolled the dice on him. Boston gave him some rotation minutes, but he's just like the odd man out there. Obviously, the big game yesterday. Do we have a real one? Do we have a hidden gem? Is Minott going to be a part of this moving forward beyond just next year, potentially?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see them bringing him back. To me, depending on the moves that are made and the financials that they need to make certain moves, I could see him being the Zaire Williams replacement. Unless if they feel Zaire's earned his spot again, then you keep both of them. But, I mean, I think that there are a couple of role players on this team that have shown that they could be true role players on a contending team. So, Minott is one of those guys that I would love to see back on a multi-year deal. I don't want to see this bullshit 1-year league minimum or a bullshit 1-year $5 million deal. Like, give me 3 years at like $15 million, and I'll be happy. Lock players down. Start building something. I don't want to see these rentals that you then look to flip or lose rotation minutes. Kind of similar to how you did with Zaire this year. Like, when he plays well. I want to see these guys step up and be full-time role players. You know what I mean? So I would like to see Minott back on at least a 3-year deal of some sort.
Okay, so that would, yeah. So you'd like to see him here beyond just next season, where you know, I don't know what the plan is for next season, but we're gonna get into that in just a minute. Right now, Zaire's on a non-guaranteed deal for next year, correct? Zaire was on a 1-year deal that was non-guaranteed for next year. Is that correct?
It's a non-guaranteed. It is a team option. So
right.
The Nets could look to decline that or look to accept it and then trade it, which is why I've proposed that idea where I don't think OKC would be dumb enough to just decline Lou Dort's team option, right? That's a player with trade value. So to me, I think that there's a way that you can work in, you know, maybe the Nets trade Zaire, Day'Ron, and the first pick in the second round that they have for Lou Dort and say if they land at like 17 or 18 with that second first round pick that they have. You know, something where they can save money but also gain a non-guaranteed contract in the second round, some form of swap,
Yeah.
maybe a late first round swap. Of some sort. So I don't know. That's one of the players that I'm looking at through the trade market, which is where Zaire and Dayron come into play. I also am fully convinced that Nick Claxton is going to be traded this offseason. I think this is where it finally happens. He's not getting the minutes that he once did. They are starting to slowly digress him out of the, final minutes of games and things like that. So I think that it would be best to just mutually move on from one another. I don't hate Nick Claxton, but I've said it before, I don't see him as a full-time starting center. He's playing starting center minutes in a power forward's body with no power forward skill set. So I think that there's a real problem for him in Brooklyn where he can't get any better than what he is because we don't have the necessary pieces around him to help him out. If you land a Boozer, then maybe it's a different story. But if you go after a DeBanster or a Peterson or a Wilson or one of these guards, if you slip out of the top four, there's no helping him. So do right by him, move on from him, free up the money, go get another pick, or maybe package him in a deal for a star, but do something that will benefit both of them, meaning the Nets and Nick Claxton.
I wanted to ask you a question because you just mentioned Cam Boozer. You're a Duke fan, so I wanted to ask you this: who had a better season, Cooper Flag last year or Cam Boozer this year?
Sorry, repeat that. Who had a better season?
Who had a better season, Cooper Flag season last year or Cam Boozer's season this year?
Boozer. Statistically, Boozer had the best freshman season in college basketball history since, I believe, 2010 or 2011.
It's been a hell of a season. So, yeah. Okay. I wanted your take on that. I agree.
I personally am not picking him at it's such a debate. Like, it really depends on what the Nets do in the offseason, right? If you go after Giannis and decide to do something stupid, then I'm taking DeBansta at 1. But again, the whole Giannis conversation is just so frustrating because there's no reason for us to be in it whatsoever. There's only 3 teams. There's really only 4 teams out there that make sense. San Antonio and OKC, which both of them are confirmed to not have any interest in him. And then the only other 2 teams that made any form of sense was Atlanta and Portland because they have picks from Milwaukee that they could give back. So there's really no package that I would like to put out there for Giannis, especially at his age with his injury health issues. So to me, I'm really hoping we can get past that. And I'm hoping that he kind of dictates where he wants to go. It got reiterated again in a post, I think it was 2 days ago, that he was very upset when Drew Holiday got traded and all these things. So, go to Portland. Stop fucking around and trying to make this like a drama show. Just go to Portland. Portland's got picks of Milwaukee's. They have assets. They can give up Scoot Henderson, Jeremy Grant, maybe another young guy like Hansen Yang, plus Milwaukee's picks back and 2 other picks. Just get it over with. That's the most simplistic deal out there.
I wanted to address this. We're talking about Trey Claxton. I do agree that Claxton is going to get moved this offseason. Claxton, man, for Zion. Who says no, Dylan?
It's just not going to happen. New Orleans is saying no. We have to add picks. We are not in a position right now to throw away picks unless if it is for a true, healthy star.
What if I give him the Knicks 2028 pick or 2027, whatever, 2027?
They still say no. Zion's played like an all-star this year. He's averaging 22, 6, and 5 or something.
He always does when he plays. He's never not done that when he played. When he played is the caveat there. I agree with you. How are they doing with it? I said this about the Mets. I'm going to make an analogy real quick. All my Met fan buddies got upset when they didn't bring back Alonso. They didn't bring back McNeil, right? They've had this core together since 2018, and Alonso came in 2019. How have they done with it over those 7 years? Been good? He had one good season, right? I'm going to say the same thing about Zion. They drafted Zion in 2019, correct? 2019. How has it gone? How many playoff series have they won? Have they won a single playoff game? I don't even know if they have.
I think they made the play-in twice. They were the 1 seed in the West for the first 3 or 4 months of one season, and then Zion and everybody got hurt.
Yeah, and they made the play in that year, and I think they got swept. So I don't even know if they won a playoff game. They definitely haven't won a playoff series. So I'm going to say the same thing I said about the Mets. At what point do you break this up and say this isn't working? Let's scrap this for pieces and try something different. It's not working. right? Like whatever. I thought New Orleans could be decent this year. If the Nets tried, the Nets would have won more games than New Orleans. They have some young players. They don't have their pick this year. I don't know. Like, what is the, you gonna keep running it back with Zion and this crew? Like, it doesn't work. It's not working. It's demonstrably not working. So, just like the Mets, you have to stop the madness here. No, at some point.
I mean, at some point, maybe.
Okay, so I'm not into pulling band-aids off slowly. If I don't know, like Joe Dumars, do we agree that Joe Dumars is an incompetent GM? Do we agree on that? At a certain point, you just rip the band-aid off. The Zion thing didn't work out. You're getting Claxton for him. He's on a good contract. Just it's time to move on. Just like Atlanta had to move on from Trey. They didn't get a whole ton of value for him. They didn't get what you maybe would have gotten for him 2 years ago, but it's time to move on. Like, does New Orleans say no to this? Probably. If I throw in another first rounder, is another team going to offer them a better option? That's my question.
So what would you rather here? All right, and this is the scenario that I'm currently working on. Paolo Banchero's extension kicks in next season, so he'll be up to that $40 million mark. What's stopping us from doing a simple Michael Porter Jr. and 3 first-round picks for Paolo?
That's a fine trade, but now I have nothing in Paolo. Now I have Orlando. Now I'm in the same position Orlando is in without
not
Rodgers.
necessarily, because now you can go out and so Michael Porter Jr. and Paolo are pretty much making the same exact money next year, right?
Sure.
You have Desmond Bane. Anthony Black stepped up really well this year. He's kind of fallen off a bit. I think that he needs a bit more of a workload to actually be useful, right? You have to pick between one of Franz Wagner or Paolo because they don't work together, clearly.
Correct.
So one of Franz or Paolo, I think Paolo is not happy in Orlando from what I have seen. There is a clear coaching issue with him and that head coach over there. What is it, Jamal Mosley, I believe?
Yeah.
And clearly they aren't utilizing him properly to where he can be his best. So you're looking at he's 20, 23, 24?
Paolo, yeah, let's say 25, but somewhere in that range.
Yeah, he's under 25, let's say. So would you rather a 6'6" non-floor spacer who plays about 50 to 60 games a season, or do you want a 6'9" younger on a long-term better deal considerably? It starts off at $41 million, it goes up to $53 by year 5, but he is locked in for 5 years. And you also have the opportunity of not having to take on salary to where you still have the maximum amount of cap space that you can have this offseason, which I believe we're 3rd or 4th in cap space this offseason, where you can go out and sign a Peyton Watson. And that's not even mentioning the potential to add a top 4 pick, right? Say the Nets do land a Darren Peterson or an AJ DeBonsta. You now have Yegor Zhomon, either Peterson or Peyton Watson at the 2, either Peyton Watson or DeBonsta at the 3, and then you've got Paolo at the 4. This now leads you to being able to package up Claxton and Terrence Mann for a center, or you can trade Nick Claxton maybe to a team, say, like the Lakers for a later first-round pick, and you can go out and get another center, or you can go and get somebody else. Like, there's different ways to utilize this where you can get a better overall team than just trading for one player. Like, to me, I don't want to package Claxton in a deal for a star right now. He's not worthy of it, and we'd have to put up too much draft capital. Terrence Mann's contract, nobody's going to take. It's going to have to be the Nets likely adding seconds to move off of his contract if they want to. Right? So Mann, to me, is he's not an ideal trade candidate this offseason. He's more of a trade deadline or next offseason when he's an expiring contract. Claxton, though, on the other hand, I think you can get back either a first-round pick for, or you can get back 2 solid players in return.
If you can get a first-round pick for Claxton, just take it. Like, just take it. I don't care. Just take it. That's all I'm asking for. If you get a first-round pick for Claxton, just take the trade. We'll figure everything else out. So on the I'm all for trading Banchero. What I don't want to do, and I guess it has to be done, is trade Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. is that second option that can go with any player. Now you're going to say we're going to get Peyton Watson. How confident? I'm going to take your word for it. I'll go by whatever you're going to say here. How confident are you that Peyton Watson can be that second option?
Do I think that he can be a full-time second option potentially? Do I want to put the expectation on him that he's going to be a full-time second option? No. I think that in the NBA, you have one of three different ways that you can kind of format a team. You have a 1A and a 1B and a bunch of mediocre role players around them that know their role, right? You have a number one, and then you have a 2A and a 2B, right? That's where I kind of see him, is in that 2A, 2B conversation. I don't know if he's a full-time two, but I think if you were to add somebody like a DeBansta or a Peterson right off the rip who can be your full-time 2B, where Peyton Watson can be the 2A, Paolo can be the 1, then you're looking at something special there that you can build off of, right? Watson, you'd be signing to a new long-term deal this offseason, so figure 3 or 4 years. If you do trade for Paolo, you already have him now for 5 years because his extension kicks in next year. And then you're also drafting a rookie who's making rookie contract money for the next 4 years. And when he is rookie max extension eligible, he's still not making anything more than, I believe, 33 to 37 million for like a 3-4 year span. So that's doable. You can build around that with ease, especially with the draft capital that you have left over.
You're right in the sense that obviously what Orlando has now looks great on paper. It's not working, right? If you're telling, and then like, so to me, this trade matters a lot. If you get a top 3 pick, you can get one of those 3 guys, just make the trade. I would trade Porter and 3 ones to get Banchero, because now I'm starting over again with Yegor, Banchero, and then one of those 3 guys. I just looked up, Banchero's 23, so next year he'll be 24. All 24 and younger. I'll have Yegor, Banchero, Yegor, and then one of those 3 guys. I'm good. Like, we're good, Dylan. If that's the case, our rebuild is complete, right? Like, we have our core. We have a big 3, so to speak. Like, we're good to start trying to compete. But that is, to me, completely indicative on whether or not we get a top 3 pick. Like, if you give me any one of those 3 guys with Yegor and Banchero, and you got to love the position that you're in, and it's worth mortgaging those 3 first-round picks, correct?
If you land top 4 this year, I'm all for trading 3 to 4 first-round picks for a star. Yes.
As long as obviously,
say you land Boozer, then I'm interested in Wagner, right? Say that you land Peterson or DeBansta, I'm interested in Paolo. Say that you end up landing, even in another scenario, Boozer, I'm interested in Donovan Mitchell. So there's a couple of guys out there that I do believe will be available, depending on this playoff run that all of them have.
Let me ask you this.
I think it starts off though with signing Peyton Watson. If you sign Peyton Watson, that's when you can start looking into that star move. If they match him, or you sit on your ass again and don't offer any qualifying offers to anybody in restricted free agency, then don't trade for anybody. That's how I would look at it. But Watson, to me, is like, you need him to be able to start moving this forward. He's the first piece.
And how realistic is it that because that name keeps coming up, it's over and over and over again. How realistic is that, and what does that contract look like?
I think it's very realistic. Again, Denver
can match the offer, correct? But they really can't. Like,
so they can match the offer and go deeper into the second apron. But the problem is, and again, this kind of happened. I'm not saying Peyton Watson's Kevin Durant, but when the Nets were in a position to try and help Kevin Durant after they traded Kyrie, which was their original plan, no team was willing to move off of players because they all felt that they wanted a shot at KD. Right? Toronto refused to move on from OG Anunoby or Pascal Siakam or Fred VanVleet when we were in conversations with them, because they felt that, KD grew up a big Vince Carter fan and a Raptors fan growing up, so we may have a shot at him, so we're not going to give you anything to help. Right? That was the exact reports that were coming out. So, to me, I think it's a very similar situation around the league for a guy like Peyton Watson. A team like Washington isn't going to take a Cam Johnson or a Christian Braun. The Nets aren't going to take on another bad contract for a Christian Braun. But it's also stupid for Denver to even look to move Cam Johnson or Christian Braun, because you're going to have to give up another first-round pick that they can't afford to lose. Like, are you really going to trade Michael Porter Jr. and say one of Christian Braun or Cam Johnson plus 2 valuable first-round picks just to keep Peyton Watson? That's how I would look at it. You've already given up a guy who's taken an all-star leap. You're going to give up a valuable role player that you just traded a premium for. Like, it doesn't make sense if I'm Denver to try and keep him and move off of other players and assets just to keep him because they're still in financial hell.
Right. So they could match him, but it's more than likely that they wouldn't. Now, again, what's it going to take to seal that deal? Is he a $25 million a year player? What are we looking at?
I'd overpay it. Yeah, I would do an overpay. I would do a front loaded contract. Give him his first year at like anywhere between 24 to 26 million, and then have it front loaded. Have it go down.
Yeah, I would front load. Yeah, the first year or two, because that would kind of poison pill. Then Denver really couldn't touch it, right?
Then they would be forced to make a trade, right? And I believe there's a window where if a player is about to accept a deal, there's a window where the team can match it. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 days, I believe, but that gives them a really rough time frame to make a deal and move off of whoever they need to move off of. So I think that if you're the Nets, Peyton Watson showed, I mean, there's like a 10 or a 15 game sample size without Jokic or Jamal Murray this year, where he was averaging, I think it was like 22 points, almost 7 rebounds, 3 assists. He was shooting, I want to say it was 42% from 3, 48% from the field. Like those are really good numbers for a kid that's just 23 years old. So I'd be willing to go a little overboard and ensure that we get him because of how much cap space that we have. And that still gives you the opportunity to get off of contracts like, I personally don't want to trade Michael Porter Jr., but if it is for Apollo or if it is for a Donovan Mitchell or somebody like that, I'm all for it. But that gives you the opportunities.
Let me get CJ in real quick. CJ, and I want to get to Donovan Mitchell.
Well, just to finish the point, though,
go ahead.
That gives you the opportunity to then move off of Nick Claxton, Terrence Mann, and Michael Porter Jr. That's a combined $80 million right there. Right, so you have a ton of flexibility moving forward, depending on how you package those players and what players you go out and get.
Let me bring CJ in here. CJ, you heard the conversation here. We're talking about Peyton Watson first, overpaying him slightly to kind of make it so Denver can't match it. Do you think he can be a legitimate number 2 or number 3? Would you be interested in that? And then let's get to the Banchero trade. I want to ask you about that after.
Yeah, I agree with Dylan. I think he could be a number 2, but I think he got more upside. I think he got more to his game, and people don't realize because I told people when he was doing that, he reminded me of Paul George, and people call me crazy and all that, but he did remind me of Paul George.
See that actually. That's
he reminded me of like Paul George that played off the Pacers. That's what he reminded me of, Paul George. I think he got more to the upside. But the thing I want to ask Dylan. If you laying like somebody like Caleb, will you put him beside somebody like Caleb?
Who, Peyton Watson?
Yes.
Oh yeah, certainly. Watson's only 6'8", so he's a shooting guard or a small forward. Now if you land, if you land a Boozer or a Wilson and then you go after Apollo or a Giannis, that to me doesn't make sense because now you have 2 power forwards. So yeah, 100%. If you land Wilson, I would certainly go after Peyton Watson still, 100%.
And I think he still got more upside. I think a lot of people don't know how good he is because a lot of people don't even know this. He averaged 3 points in college.
Oh yeah,
Peyton Watson.
He's taken a massive leap.
Yeah. He played at UCLA, didn't he? He only averaged 3 points.
Yes. He averaged only 3 points in college.
That's crazy. All right. Now let me get to the other half of this question. We're talking about this trade. I would make it if we land a top 3 pick. We can trade Porter for Paulo. Well, it's Porter and 3 future ones for Banchero. Do you make that trade?
I would. I would. The picks that are being given up though would have to be specific.
Give me the what I mean. It's obviously not the 2026 pick, right? It's future picks, right? So what are the 3? Hypothetically, what are the 3 picks? Denver's one's going to be
I would personally do Denver's number 1, but I would add it as a top 3 protected, and then I would do the 2027 Knicks and the 2028. Or I'm sorry, the 2027 and the 2029 Knicks. Or 2030, whichever it is. Because the one that I was floating around was, what was it? Philly's top 8 protected 2028 pick. But if you're going to add a protection to the Denver pick, I don't think you can get away with giving up like another protected pick. That just doesn't make sense for Orlando. So to me, I would be willing only for Paolo to give up those 2 Knicks picks and a protected Denver pick. Yeah.
So let me give you the hypothetical, CJ. You say yes or no. I'm making you Sean Marks for the day. It's Porter, the 2027 Knicks pick, the 2029 Knicks pick, and then Denver's pick. What is that? 2031 or 2032? What year is that? 2031. Unprotected. Top 8 protect. Oh, you said top 3 protected. So top 3 protected that pick, and then the Knicks picks 27, 29, and Michael Porter Jr. for Bancaro. Yay or nay?
Shit. That's in between. But
a lot.
if we
That's a
if we,
lot.
if we
Look at you
it's
getting.
a lot, but it's in between. Like, yeah, it depends. That's like a hard damn decision because I don't know. You say Paulo, right?
Paulo, yeah.
I don't. It depends what version you getting her. Cause I ain't like how he playing this season.
But me and Dylan talked about that. It's not working out with him and Wagner in Orlando. It's just not a good fit. Paulo is an athletic freak, right? Like we watched him since he's in college. That boy different, right? Like God doesn't build too many people like him. You know, if you get him, you're getting an impact player, right? Like, do we all agree on that?
Yeah,
100%. And that's not to say that he can be the true number 1 on this team. That goes back to that 1A, 1B. If you land a top 4 pick, you're hoping that player turns into your future like superstar, right? So now if you have a Debansta next to a Bancaro, like that gives you your 1A, 1B punch.
And then Yegor is your
and
1,
then
2,
Yegor,
3.
yeah, I would say if you let's just say hypothetically, Debansta's your pick, you land the first overall pick. You trade for Paulo, you sign Peyton Watson, right? How I'm looking at that is Paulo's your number 1, year 1. Debansta's your number 2. Peyton Watson's your 2B, and Yegor's your 3, right? If once say 2 years down the line, Debansta's your 1, Paulo's your 1B, Watson's your 2, Yegor's your 2B. That's how I would look at that. But you would have 4 key players that are probably going to be averaging 15 plus minimum, right? Yegor in that like 15 to 18 range, Watson in that like 19 to 21 range, Paulo in that like 22 to 25 range, Debansta hopefully in that 22 to like 27 range.
You got to feel good about it. CJ, if you move, and this is why I make this trade, if you're moving forward with that, with Watson and then Yegor, let's say Debansta, but substitute Debansta with any of those 4, Debansta and Paulo, you're set. You're good to go. You have what you're building with. You have your foundation, right? Like you got to feel good about that. Leaf shaking his head. No, let me get to CJ and I'll get to you, Leaf. CJ, I think CJ is on mute. Leaf's giving me the crazy eyes. What's up, Leaf?
Where the hell are we getting? Hold up. Where did Nets fans get this idea that we're getting Paulo?
Every year I do this where I pick about 2 to 4 different stars that are likely to be traded at some point in the next year and a half. Paulo's going to be one of them. He is not happy in Orlando. You can visibly see it. There is a coaching issue there, right? And I do not believe that a team with Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero works. It has not worked. They just traded for Desmond Bane, and it's still not working. So at some point, financially, they're going to have to move off of players, specifically one of Franz or Paulo. Right now, based on
they're gonna move off of Paulo before they move off of Franz?
Potentially. His extension is the one that kicks in next year. Franz is already on his extension. And it's also a cheaper deal.
Why wouldn't they move off of Franz before they move off of Paulo?
Because there's some people out there that think Franz Wagner has more to his game than what he's been able to do with Paulo.
I know he don't.
Numerous Magic fan that I've actually spoken to. Like there's a Magic fan page on Instagram that I've spoken to numerous times, and he even says like he thinks that Franz Wagner is the better overall player when they're healthy. And if you think that, then by all means give me Paulo. I'll take that all day. But these are the same like blasphemy like reactions that I got when I said Giannis would probably potentially be available over the next year and a half. Now he is. Like this was the same thing when I said Ja Morant's likely to be on the move at the beginning of last season. Guess what? They wanted to move off of him this season. Like I don't say things just to like put hypotheticals out there. To me, if you're looking at the star market and how it could shape up based on these playoffs, one of Franz Wagner or Paulo to me will be available. I believe Donovan Mitchell, if they get knocked out before the second round, that he'll be available. and you already know Giannis is going to be available. So that's already potentially 3 guaranteed stars that are going to be available this offseason.
And you think the Nets have a legitimate
Have a shot
shot?
at one of them? Yes.
And
Yeah, we
Why
got
and the
would
draft
one that
capital.
why
and the
wouldn't
one
they
that you
leave?
landed on is Paolo.
Yes.
Give him the
Paolo
trade
to
again,
me makes
Dylan.
the most sense.
Give him the trade again. Give him the trade that we discussed.
It's,
It would be Michael
Dylan,
Porter
before you
Jr.
say
and
this,
then 3 first-round picks.
Dylan, is this source related or is this something you came up with?
A little bit of both.
That really wasn't an answer, but I'm gonna run with it.
A little bit
No,
of
well,
both.
let me like there's rumblings that Orlando is going to part ways with Paulo. So Dylan came up with a trade that he thinks could land Paulo. It's not was Michael Porter and 3 number ones reported for Paulo? No, but it's like okay, if Paulo's on the trade market, we have the.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think it was
Well,
intentional.
no, I will say this. Paolo is basically the finished product of what Jabari Parker was supposed to be. I'll give him that. I mean, for whatever it's worth, I did like Jabari Parker, and I like how Paolo plays, bro. When he's not being a guard and tweening and taking mid range shots, and he's actually being a big. I like the way that he plays, but this notion that Paolo is unhappy and this, that, and the third, and they can't just change the coach and get rid of Franz first before they come up off Apollo is kind of crazy to me, man. Like, I mean, I'm willing to hear it,
We've
man,
seen
but
crazier things happen. I mean, who expected Jaren Jackson to get traded at the deadline this year?
nobody. But I mean, Jaren Jackson is not on the level of Paulo Banchero.
No, I'm not
So.
saying that he is, but it's more so the thought that a team like Memphis, who had 3, you could say, stars on their team, moved off of Bane, then moved off of Jackson, and was trying to move off of Ja. Things happen. Time frames run out. Certain teams don't want to pay certain restrictions on the CBAs. It's going to come down to one or Franz or Paolo. And it just depends on which one, A, has more value, and B, helps the other one. Like, whichever one's traded helps the other one get built around better. So it comes down to, like, what offer is out there that's going to make Orlando better. Is it keeping Franz or is it keeping Paolo? And so far, Paolo hasn't been much of a winner in Orlando when Franz isn't on the floor. And I think that's a concern for a lot of Magic fans as well. I personally think it's a scheme fit issue and a coaching issue. But if Orlando's in a position where they feel like we have to pick between one of them and we feel like we can build better around this one, then the other one gets moved.
So we pick up Paolo and ruin his career. That's what we do.
How would that ruin his career?
We don't know how to build around Paolo neither.
How so? We have a top 7 guaranteed pick this year, and we have the opportunity to go out there and sign a Peyton Watson, while also still having the opportunity to move off of guys like Claxton and Mann to create a max contract slot for the 2027 offseason. So how can't you build around that?
Well, we don't know
I
if we
understand
have
we all hate Sean Marks, but again, we got to be realistic.
Yeah, we got to be realistic that Sean Marks could actually pull this shit off without getting duped in the butt, bro. Like, basically. So I mean, we're talking about an idiot here. That's what we're talking about in Sean Marks. We're talking about somebody that you said yourself that overpays for talent that's not worth it, and then underpays for and then doesn't value talent that's worth it at all. So I mean, my thing is I don't know, man. Like this I don't know. I'm willing to hear it out, man, because I like watching. I like listening to Nets fans be optimistic about something. I mean, we all gotta believe something is gonna happen. I mean, a lot of people believe in the Tooth Fairy. A lot of people believe in Santa Claus, man. Nets fans believe that shit is gonna get better before it gets worse.
It quite literally cannot get worse than what it's been over the last year and a half.
Oh, it can.
It cannot.
Oh, it can.
It quite literally cannot, actually.
I mean, I disagree. I disagree, Ben, but I ain't gonna speculate.
No, I want you to speculate. This is what we're here for. We're 17 and 50, whatever. We can speculate, right? I want to ask you 2 things. First, you can take your victory lap on. I let Dylan do it. You can take your victory lap on Cam Thomas too. And then how?
I can.
Yeah, go for it. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
for.
yeah. And I want to say this nice and loud so everybody can hear. To
Hold on,
all
let me
the
raise my
camp
volume.
Yeah. Do that. Do that. Raise it all the way up because I want to echo. The to all of the CT lifers that sat in our fan section, bro, that was talking about Cam Thomas was getting should get 4 years 100 mil, and I told him he wasn't getting over $15 million. To all of the CT lifers that decided to ruin this young man's career and thinking that he was bigger than he or what he was, bro. He's a basketball player, but he's just not an NBA basketball player. Let's just get that out of the way. To
He's a
all of
great player.
y'all, hey, there's a league in China. There's a league overseas, bro. It is what it is. So I mean, so I would say this. Y'all did this. Y'all responsible for this. Cam Thomas, don't get me wrong, bro, because Dylan is 100% right. He saw Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Ben Simmons come here and do whatever they wanted to do and get whatever they wanted for it. And he thought he could do the same thing, and he followed the same mode, and it didn't work. And now that the CT lifers have to navigate to the new best thing that comes to the Nets, now how do you feel? I told you this was going to happen and you didn't listen to me. You raised your voice, you got fiery with me, and now look what happened. A young man's career is ruined because of you. It's not, and I don't blame this 100% on Cam Thomas. I blame this 100% on fan bases because let's face it, fan bases draws our disdain for a lot of these players because they blow them up like a hot air balloon way more than they need to be blown up. It's the fans. Dylan,
All
you
right,
can continue.
let me. Go
No,
ahead.
you
You want
got
to
it.
go, Jim?
You got it. No, you got it.
Anyway,
Let, let,
back to the weather with Gary.
let me get back to CJ real quick. CJ, you've been quiet over there. I want to get your take on this. Um,
What up,
Cam
Gary?
Thomas. Where were you on Cam Thomas, and what are your thoughts that he absolutely sucks on yet another team with another coach?
It's not shocking me. I had a lot of people that came on my live telling me we was dumb for trading him, this and that. He was a star. This and that. I mean, I agree with Dylan. At least was saying. I always thought he was a six man. I never look at him as a star. This that and stuff. I never look at him as that.
Last year, I said to offer him, I think it was 80 or 100 million over 4 years. Thank God they didn't listen to me. Thank God they didn't listen to me. I was all on that. Lock him up, and you can have him.
But
I
the
want
thing,
to go ahead.
I want to say this right here, Gary. The thing he got to realize, he not James Harden, this and that. He not no damn. That what he got to realize. He not no superstar. That's the thing he got to realize.
He's not even a role player.
He's not. I mean, he's not really usable. He's not. I mean, right? He's
I
not.
mean, bro, I put it to you this way: if Doc Rivers can't find a spot for you, bro, nobody can. We talking about somebody that graduated some of the best six men in this league, bro, and
Yep.
Jamal Crawford and goddamn Lou Williams, bro. Like, if he can't do nothing with you, then nobody can. And I don't want to hear that it's 1 year and that he going to another rebuilding team. He going to another rebuilding team because they want you out the league. That's why.
That's what I
Any
think he's going to get.
any team with Kevin Porter Jr. on it is doomed. I'm sorry.
Our old friend. I do think that Cam Thomas is going to get one more deal, a 1 year deal next year, and then it's off to China for him. I really think that he's going to. Someone will give him a shot next year on a minimum deal.
What?
And then he's
What
going
are
to
you talking about? Kevin Durant?
No, Cam Thomas.
Yeah,
Cam Thomas will get a 1 year deal. It won't work out, and then he'll.
But who's
he'll
giving him a 1 year deal? Kevin Durant?
Oh, maybe, yeah, possibly a minimum, a league minimum type deal, and that won't work out. And then the year after, he'll be in China, averaging 35 a game for the Shanghai Sharks.
He already getting league minimum. He getting $6 million.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change much next year. I think he's going to get a similar contract.
I think he's going to get less.
I think he's gonna get less too.
Good.
I mean, shit. Russell Westbrook got $3 million for 1 year, bro. I think he's gonna get less than that.
And remember, he turned down 28 for 2.
I think he's gonna get less than the highest paid WNBA player.
Shout out to the WNBA players. They're finally getting paid, right?
Nah, they about to be overpaid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, I mean, just from a business perspective, the WNBA is a money loser, so it already suggests that they're overpaid. But that's none of my business.
Hey, they ain't none of mine either. Um,
I don't
eh.
mind other people's pocket. The NBA losing money on the WNBA, that's their own thing.
Mm.
Let me get your take. John brings up Josh Minot.
Oh, hold on, let me
Josh
get on the
Minot
computer.
played really well the last two nights, the last couple of games. What are your thoughts on Josh Minot? Do we get a steal here? Do we have a gem here, CJ?
Yeah, like I told Breeze the thought, I said I've been like him since I think he was drafted to the Timberwolves, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
One of the teams. Yeah, I've been liking him
Timberwolves,
since he
yeah.
was going. Yeah, I've been liking him since over there, and I like his motor and stuff about New York and stuff. He be keeping it real. So I say the same thing. Dylan say sign him to a 3-year deal.
I'm all for locking him up. Leaf, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Josh Minot. We get a gem here. Did we get a real one for almost nothing?
Um, I think we did. But we got to remember that we have an idiot in our front office, so I don't trust him. Josh Minot is very, very cool. I did like his post game interview. It spoke to what type of player that's needed, what types of players that's needed on this team, and for this roster, and for Jordy Fernandez. I mean, you can win a lot of games with effort players, and they brought effort last night. But I have to agree with Dylan. It was a respectable loss. Somebody came downstairs and told Jordy Fernandez that, hey, you can compete all you want, but you better not win this game. And he followed code.
He did. But I want to move back to because I wanted to bring this up and I forgot. Spider Mitchell has been mentioned over and over and over and over and over again. I
Oh
think
my God.
him and Giannis won't go away. These names won't go away. I don't really want to give up a haul for Donovan Mitchell, specifically if they lose in the first or second round this year.
I
The
want
league's moved on from little guards. I mean, he can put up great numbers and he can do great things and he can be a great player. But I don't know how better Cleveland could build around him than what they have right now with the shooters and the bigs. And if it still doesn't work,
The only thing they can literally do is, and it would be stupid of them, is package up Evan Mobley and whatever picks they have left for Giannis. That is quite literally the last resort. But to me, that gives you a 1 year, 2 year window with Mitchell. So it's like, why even do that? I think it would be stupid to move Mobley for Giannis. But
hey, Dylan, ain't they supposed to be getting LeBron James or something? I heard something about LeBron supposed to be coming out to Cleveland.
yeah, I think that this is Mitchell's last year there. Like not this year, but next year. Like I can definitely see him.
So they
being
getting rid of Donovan. So they getting rid of Donovan Mitchell so LeBron can have a swan song, and the only place that loves him.
No. They're gonna bring.
No, he said they're going to have
LeBron.
one more year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have 1 more year. I don't think Mitchell is gone unless if he demands a trade this offseason. That's literally it. But he's one of
I
the
think
players
the
that I'm
worst
keeping an
thing
eye
you
on.
could do. I think the worst thing we could do is trade for a player in the middle of the season because that just screams that the Nets are going to get robbed. I think we should do it in the off season for sure.
Why the deadline deals are cheaper than the offseason deals?
I don't. It depends on who's doing them. We got to remember that we have an idiot in the front office, Dylan. Stayed on
Yeah,
that.
but that idiot's gotten us like 11 first-round picks in 2 trades. So it's like, yeah, he's an idiot, but he's also good at his occasional once-a-year move.
He's really not. That
Is he
kind of
though?
landed on his lap. I'm not giving him credit for that. That kind of landed on his lap. Um, but just making, but he did, and the Mikal deal, by the way, was made in the offseason. So that was probably his best um gift that he was given because it
He
was a
did get
gift.
that trade right, and he got the Porter Jr. to the Cam Johnson trade right. He did. Like
And that deal was done in the offseason.
they were both done in the offseason. That's
They
true.
was
That's why I
both
said,
done in the
that's why I
offseason.
said the overpays usually happen in the offseason.
Well, like I said, it depends. It depends on what team you. It depends on who it is. But like my thing is that we should wait till the off season. Obviously, we have no choice now because we can't make no trades. But wait till the off season and wait for a team to get disgruntled and this, that, and the third. Or we should come in and be like, hey, oh, it's a gift. All right, and collect the gift basket like we did with the Knicks, and that's it. What I think we need to do. You did say something yesterday about some shit about 19-year-olds and everything. This, that, or the third. I'm gonna just
Don't
keep
make
it
it sound
fun.
like that. That sounds horrible. Rephrase that.
No,
I'm on,
19 is legal. 19 is good. 19 is good to go.
I only said it because I don't remember exactly what you said. I just know 19 was in it. 19-year-olds was in there. The reason why I said it is because I don't I don't think that the Nets staff as I don't think the Nets staff as currently constructed right now are good at developing 19-year-olds. I just don't think that. Like, I mean, I understand how you feel about the upside and the youth and things like that nature and who could be the next best thing and Diego and the two other point guards that we got. I just don't think the Nets I think the Nets are very, very stupid when it comes to 19-year-olds. When we get like 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds, guys that already know some type of basketball and played some type of competitive basketball at a standpoint and have some knowledge from coaches and college and things like that. We're better with them than we are with these 19-year-olds.
Let me
You also
let me
have to put it into account that developing a 19-year-old is much different than developing a 23-year-old.
Oh.
let me. What would a trade package hypothetically for Spotted Mitchell look like?
You're probably looking at, I would probably say again, Michael Porter Jr. and one of either Traore or Powell plus 3 first-round picks.
I'm out on that. I don't think that I get his stats and I get he's a great player. I don't think he impacts winning as much as Paulo could. I don't. So I'm out on trading.
I
that
personally
much.
disagree with that just because of the fact that Donovan Mitchell's never missed the playoffs in his career.
Mhm.
And that is going back to when he was with Utah. So I would personally disagree with that, but I also understand. I would say I want Paulo more, not because I think he impacts the game more, but because of his age and the contract that he's on. You're guaranteeing yourself 5 years of 23, 24, 25-year-old Paulo Banchero until he's hitting his prime years. So that I would be more so willing to add 3 first-round picks to rather than, a guy who's 30, turning 31 here shortly. Like that, yes, I agree with that to that extent, but not when it comes to the impact. I think Donovan Mitchell still is the better overall winner for sure.
CJ, you in or out on that trade?
I'm out, man. Dylan, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't want to trade nobody. I want to because, bro, I just want to see into what we got, like 3 or 5. I don't know, like that's why I'm trying to tell people. You can't say, yeah, you can say we drafted wrong people, just that. You dudes ass this and that, whatever you want to say. But I just want to wait and give them time to see what we got. That's why, that's why I don't want to trade. Like that's why I really don't want to trade nobody. Now the Paulo thing, that's cool because we really ain't. I don't think we're giving up as much as we trade for Donovan Mitchell. So, I mean, I don't really want to trade nobody, man.
Let me pose this to you, Dylan. Let's say this offseason, we don't make any big trades. We get a top 3 pick or top 4 pick, and we get Watson. Is that a good offseason? Is that a productive offseason?
Repeat that?
So we don't make any trades, any major trades. We basically keep what we have, sign Watson, and get a top 4 pick. Are you happy with that? Is that a good productive offseason for where we're at?
It cut out for me one more time. What's the first part?
Okay.
I heard Watson. I heard top 4 pick. But what's
so
the
we
other
make
part?
no trades, no major trades. And the only thing major that happens this offseason is we get a top 4 pick and we sign Watson. Nothing else of significance happens.
All right, go trade 2 Knicks picks for your 2027 pick back. You're going to be in the lottery again, but you'll be a borderline playing team maybe, depending on how the rookies this year develop and how well that top 4 pick is this year. But yeah, be precautionary. Go get your first round pick again this year. Or for next year, I should say.
How realistic do you think that is that we can get that pick back?
I would think so. I don't see why not. I mean, shit, they gave us the most valuable one already.
It's true. The last thing I wanted to touch on was Giannis. Again, this keeps coming up. It's been going on for well over a year now. There was reports that the Nets were fairly close to trading for him last offseason. What does a Giannis trade look like? And I think this is the offseason where Giannis gets moved. What are the odds that it's the Nets, Dylan? And what does that look like?
I think that it is 100% chance that he's getting moved, and I think that it is a 50% chance it's the Nets, and I hope that it's not.
So you're saying there's a 50% chance that Giannis ends up on the Nets this offseason?
Yeah, because as Leaf said, Sean Marks is an idiot.
All right, before we call him. What is it? I don't want to make this trade either. I don't want to trade for anyone on the wrong side of
Neither.
30.
I don't want to trade for him. He dealt with too many injuries and all type of shit. Man, I don't want to trade for him, man.
John, I understand. I get it. How has his teams done? I'm not saying Spider Mitchell is a great player. I love Spider Mitchell. How have his teams done in the playoffs? How much playoff success have they had? Not a lot. Go ahead. What does the trade look like, Dylan?
For what, Donovan?
No, for Giannis.
Oh, for Giannis, I don't even want to fucking talk about it. It's probably Michael Porter Jr., Nolan Traore, Drake Powell, one of Day'Ron Sharp or Zaire, plus 5 first-round picks. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, I can't think of any realistic trade that I would make for Giannis.
Dylan, the thing is,
Yeah.
they make that trade, I swear to you, they're gonna regret doing that shit. I'm telling you, they're gonna regret doing that shit.
If they make that trade, I'm not watching.
Neither. I'm not watching that shit.
I'm gonna watch,
and
I'm gonna watch every game, and they're gonna go 45-37 and get bounced in the first round, kind of like Milwaukee, right? Like, I mean, this is what we're looking at.
Milwaukee's not even in the playoffs.
I know.
How
Because
bad.
Giannis has been injured a lot this year, right? But if Giannis was healthy and played a full slate of games, they'd win
still
44.
maybe be the 9th seed at best, and
I
that's not
kind
even
of agree.
guaranteeing them a spot in the playoffs.
I don't see any real upside.
Oh, hold on, wait. We have a retarded Knicks fan trying to speak English, and he spelled excited when he meant to say existed. There you go. There's the Knicks fan base all in one.
What up, Javier? I didn't know a Nets fan page existed. What? It's a Nets fan page.
That's the correct spelling. He had to go back and reiterate it. It took him a full minute to figure out how to spell existed, though. 1252 to 1253.
Claxton, Man, Serap, Clowney. 3 of the 4 Knicks first, Phillies first, and Knicks 20. I'm out on this, John. I'm just out on this. I don't want
anything we trade for now, they're gonna come back and regret it. I'm telling you what I know, bro.
I don't think that gets it done. I think you're gonna have to substitute Seraph for Powell or Traore. Maybe Wolf, but I think it's Claxton, man.
I think Nolan
think
Igor gonna stay.
If you can do it and keep MPJ, I still don't want to. I still don't want to make the trade though. Like I still don't think you're a championship team, and now you have a short window with Giannis where you're going to be. If you can keep Porter and Giannis, what are you, a 5 seed? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're better, you're competitive, but you're not actually a threat in the East.
The thing is, why we want to rush it so fast? Like, why we just can't let this shit play out?
I wouldn't necessarily say that we're rushing it. Like, the time frame has been the same, as I have said, since the moment we got our picks back. 2027 is when you need to start being more competitive, whether that is pushing very fast to be a top 6 seed or if it's just pushing enough to be a play-in team. We don't own our pick. So it's clear as day that they're going to make some form of adjustments and moves to put yourself in at least a top 10 seed. At least. Now, depending on what's out there, that could accelerate you to a top 7 seed. So all options are on the table.
That is facts. That's definitely one price. Yeah, no, I got you, John. I got you. Is it a realistic possibility that the Nets could keep MPJ and add Giannis? Is that
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Unfortunately, not. No.
I love the thought, John. I don't think that's going to happen. I think any trade's going to have to include MPJ.
They're not taking Claxton, Man, and what? Zaire plus 2 rookies and 6 firsts. 1, it's not worth it. 2, they're not taking it. So, no, there's not a chance in the world. Just because it works on a trade machine does not mean it'll work, though.
CJ, can you think of a realistic trade that Milwaukee could possibly accept that you would make to get Giannis in here? Because I can't think of one. Like I
can't think one either. Yeah, I don't even want to do that damn trade.
Yeah.
I can't even think on myself because we giving up so much. That's why. And you know they gonna want a whole lot for Giannis.
Yeah.
I don't even think he gonna even come here. If Giannis trying to really win a championship, you not win a championship here. You that shit not happening.
No, they'll go basically. They'll go be a middle of the pack East. They'll be a middle of the pack. They'll be a 5 seed in the East, and maybe they win a round in the playoffs. Maybe that's what you're looking at. Like, you're not actually competing for a title, so it doesn't make any sense to me. Now you've mortgaged your future to be a 5 seed. It's not really worth it to me. I can't think of any trade I would make for it. The only guy that we've mentioned today that I really, really want to trade for is Paulo, because he's 24.
Hold on. Go back to that. What is we giving up to get on for Paulo? Because I don't think we're giving up as much for Paulo.
MPJ, and then 3 ones, which would obviously include Denver's unprotected 2032 pick.
That ain't bad. I hate giving up MPJ because I love an MPJ bought here, but shit, that ain't too bad. And we still get that Peyton dude, right, Dylan?
Yeah, well, you can still sign Peyton. Yeah.
All right, that's good. But John said the Peyton, not the Peyton dude, but getting what's the name would be just like traded for Shea.
Say again.
John say something out. That'd be just like traded for Shea or something. John said.
All right. I gotta wrap this up. Dylan, you got anything else you want to close out with?
No. Keep losing. 12 games left. Let's get this shit over.
Let's take a look at the schedule. Let's take a look at the range, because it gets easy again after this. It gets a little hairy after this. Hang on. That loss. If you're in on the tank, if you're a tank guy, yesterday's loss was huge. That winning would have been. So here it is. Let's look at the next couple of games. It's losing is going to become an issue. You got at Sacramento, Portland. That's probably a loss. Golden State. All right, it's really just the 2 games. The 2 games. If you can split with Sacramento here, you're fine. So it's Sacramento, possibly a win, and then it's Portland, Golden State, LA, probably all losses because you're on the road for all of them, and then you're at Sacramento. 1-4 in those 5 games.
All right, we losing them games. Hopefully they do the right stuff.
Sacramento's all in on the tank. Like, Sacramento's all in on the tank.
Wait, Russ playing? I thought Russ was playing. Well, he set up.
Dylan?
DeMar DeRozan was playing. He's sitting out.
If the Nets want to lose those games, I guess they can. So you're saying 0-5 in those 5 games?
Not a chance in the world. I think you split with Sacramento. I think you lose to the Lakers. I think you lose to the Warriors. I think you lose to the Blazers. So 1-4.
1-4. Okay.
Charlotte
that's
lose.
fine.
Atlanta lose. I'm going to say Washington lose. Milwaukee. That's the type of stupid game that they'd win, especially since they play them twice in 3 days.
They'd win they'd win 3 in a row here, right? Like Milwaukee, Indy, and Milwaukee. Like
I would say they win 2 of those 3. So let's just put it at 3 wins, and then you lose to Toronto. So 3 more wins, 20 wins.
20-62. And then people said they didn't tank hard enough. 20-62, and we didn't tank hard enough. I don't really know where you go from there.
Dylan, but we need to lock up a number 3 spot, man. That spot we need to lock up, because I think that's what we're going to stay at. We just need to lock up a number 3 spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if the draft would start today, for me, I told people we'd be picking at 4. Call me crazy, stupid, whatever. That's just what I believe.
If we're picking at 4, I can live with that. I can live. I want 1, 2, or 3. I can live with 4 or 5. After that, I'm going to be sad again.
Now I'm still be happy. As long as we between
If
7.
we're taking 6 or 7, you're going to be happy with that?
Yes, because I still believe you got King Waller, Mikael Brown, and Darius Acuff.
Well, Acuff is the guy I would take at 5. That's the guy who's 5th on my charts. So if we end up with Acuff wherever, then I would be happy with that. I could live in that world. But beyond that, I don't want the rest of these guys.
Even if we end up with King Waller,
I'm going to be disappointed with them.
Nah, I would like Waller, my favorite guard out of all of them.
This is an interesting quote from Cam Boozer. This just came out. Says he doesn't care where he gets drafted, whether I go 1st or 15th. It's more about fit. I just want to have a long career where I start. Doesn't really determine where I'm going to finish or end up. So obviously I see what people say, I see whatever, but that's not going to matter 10 years from now. It's just about, for me, stacking days, being the best version of me. That's interesting. So maybe I'm not trying to speculate, but that could mean like he'll limit his workouts to teams that he feels he fits best with, which to me would rule out Indiana. Like, I just don't understand why the Pacers would add a power forward when they have Pascal Siakam. So that's an interesting take for there.
Does that include the Nets? Would he work out the Nets?
I mean, the Nets clearly need a power forward. So yeah, I would say the Nets are in there. I don't like to me that means Atlanta and Indiana are two teams that he wouldn't want to go to, because Atlanta's got Jalen Johnson, Indiana's got Pascal. So that would probably be like Sacramento, Brooklyn. I would even say Washington doesn't make sense. They have AD and Sar. So it's an interesting quote.
Yeah,
I do think we're gonna.
Caleb said
Go
something
ahead.
like he didn't want to go to Washington. I see that quote you were saying something like he didn't. Something like they got something like he didn't love to get drafted to Washington.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, look at Dylan Harper. Like, this is why the league needs to stop fucking around. This is a kid who went second overall and was compared to Cade Cunningham, but he looks like Killian Hayes. Like, I'm not saying that he's a bad player. He's been very good this year in his rookie year, but the expectation of what he could have been his rookie year has dwindled because he's playing behind Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. Like, it didn't make sense for them to keep that pick nor take the pick. So I think that like they need to really adjust how they're gonna try and comp this lottery, because you already know they have a say in it. But go put the best players in this draft on teams that need it, on teams that need that specific person. Stop giving it to the Mavericks or the Hawks or the Pacers, or like, it just doesn't make sense. I hope Indiana loses that pick more than anything in this year's draft. We can land at 7, but I'd be happy if the Pacers lose that pick and it goes to the Clippers.
So, like, here's my thoughts on that, Don. The NBA is looking at OKC and saying they're going to run away with the league. So we need to build teams that can compete with OKC for the next foreseeable couple of years or whatever.
Yeah, the
That's
Mavericks
San
will land
Antonio
a
and
top 4
Dallas.
pick. The Mavericks will land a top 4 pick. We already know that. I mean, to me, the player that makes the most sense for them is Peterson. You put Kyrie, Peterson, and Flag together, that's scary.
Yeah. We'll see. So, I mean, I don't know who's going 1, 2, and 3 there, but I do agree that Dallas will get a top 4 pick. I think the Nets will get a top 4 pick.
Well, we bottom out in 3.
And I don't know the other 2 teams. I don't OKC. I don't know.
No, OKC's thankfully. Oh, never mind. They are back in the lottery.
They're
Actually,
back
they
in
now
the
have
lottery.
two picks
Dylan,
back in
the team
lottery.
that's scaring me
Holy
right now,
shit.
Golden State back in the lottery, and that that's not good. You go to State in the lottery. We know how the
Yeah, I
NBA.
know. Well, you also have to remember too, if the Bucks are serious about trading Giannis, then that guarantees them a top 3 pick, because when you trade a superstar, you get a top 3 pick. So
Yeah, that's always been the case.
I don't know. I just did one lottery simulation. Washington got 1, Utah got 3, Utah got 2, Brooklyn stayed at 3, Chicago bumped up to 4. Nets take Cam
Chicago's in the
Boozer.
next.
I think Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago get the top 1 pick. I said that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I won't be
Yeah,
surprised.
Chicago's gonna be in the mix.
Because they would have got it last year if Josh Giddey never hit that game winner. They would have got it last year.
Let me ask you this, Dylan. When are you free to go? We gotta do another mock draft. When are you free?
Not too sure yet. I will.
All right.
I'll keep you in the loop.
All right. Dylan, CJ, you guys got anything you want to close out with? Because I gotta wrap this up.
Nah. Just tank.
All right. Just tank, baby. Just lose, baby, lose. I appreciate you jumping on with us, CJ.
All right, Gary. All right, Dylan.
Dylan, it was good.
Yes, sir.
All right. It's March 21st, 2026, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.